starting your journey to financial freedom. Now. You're listening to the New Investor Podcast.
This is the Young Investor for the New Investor Podcast and the Saturday Debrief, or I should call it this time the Sunday Debrief, as I was all day in the air yesterday returning from Bangkok, in addition to a serious flight delay. Just for the anecdote, I am so remote that every time I fly back home, I'm literally the only foreigner on board the plane. How was your week? There are a couple of things I really hope happened for you. I really hope that week was the week you decided to change your life and take that leap of faith into investing, and that if you did already long ago, that you have held to every one of your stocks so far. And you will notice that I only speak about stocks, as I am not diversified into bonds or REITs or any instruments I am yet to understand fully. I am, however, looking at all of these as to see how they would fit best in my investment strategy. I am not against diversification. On the contrary, I am against diversification into instruments I do not understand or care for. So I believe that stocks have always done well, historically speaking, and will continue to do well in the long term unless the whole US economy is completely wiped out within the next 10 to 15 years. Now, let me know what are the odds of something like that to ever happen. There is no easy money, guys. There is no hack. Generating what we call passive income demands hard work, discipline, and perseverance. It demands at least a decade of building a financial infrastructure around yourself, and judging by the number of comments received on Instagram by most probably fake accounts telling you that they are grateful for some guy who allowed them to make a future and a fortune in one day with Bitcoin is simply a lie, and I am very sorry to break it to you. You will actually lose everything this way, most certainly. And I understand that it can be scary to say that it will take at least a decade, but how about you start with 1 year? I am personally thrilled even if I manage to build a few more $100 of net worth, as this is tangible progress. I only wish to remind you that I started with $2,600 in February 2018. My financial infrastructure has allowed for my holdings to increase by 2,567% today. Now, the last 50 plus episodes do outline what I have done to put this in place, and there is nothing more valuable to you, I believe, than to start by creating it for yourself. This is what I feel everyone should do early. I know I will not achieve the same figure or the same increase in percentage now, but I have set a few milestones to achieve. I have achieved the first one a few months ago, and I am about to reach the next one in July. I believe this is how you should approach building wealth, one milestone at a time. You have created your own system, and it works because you make it work, and you have all the time in the world to make it work. In the meantime, this is how I feel will allow me to reach my objectives, and I will focus on your current profession on my current profession that I love. I will keep increasing my income, and I will keep on building side ventures to create other sources of income, and those, believe me, will take me time to match my current income. So I will have these two well in place and keep driving them. So I'm not an entrepreneur. I have never sold anything to anyone or hustled to make a buck since I was 5 years old. I know for a fact that only 1% or 2% of entrepreneurs make it in that world, and it is just not for me. So however, I am certain I will do well as an investor. I will keep on building a net worth that will allow me to invest in great businesses, probably in my own industry even, as this is where I can bring the most value. Now, keep working with people as well is something I'm really inspired about. So I also know that this will take time. I am in no rush. I do not care for the Lamborghini at 25. I will be unable to tell you how you can make it this way. I can only share what has worked for me so far. A thing we need to The thing we need, to my point of view, is to be prepared for the next financial crisis, as an example, as there will be another. There is always one. We do not know when and or how, but be prepared. I'm 38 and I was 28 years old when the last crisis hit us. So if you're 28 years old today, you have never lived through one. You have seen only great upsides. Once a crisis hit, your world changes, believe me. I have some practical applications on how to do that could work for me. I will outline my own way and how I would prepare in the next episode, which I think I will call How the Young Investor Would Face the Next Financial Crisis. I wish you all a beautiful weekend ahead. Thank you for listening to the podcast, and I really hope that it brings you some additional support on your own journey towards financial freedom. And don't forget to hit that subscribe button so that you stay updated with new episodes. It would mean a lot to me if you follow me on Instagram at the New Investor Podcast. And in the meantime, stay invested, be patient, and keep playing the long-term game.